We tend to always think that when bad things happen to us, that life is just unfair. Everything bad always happens to us. Everyone has it good except us. Everyone's lives are just flowing. They have successful careers, they have successful partners, they have successful social groups, but everything's just crumbling. You barely have any friends left. You're struggling at work. You feel like you're not listening to your body anymore. You're not focusing on your goals. And it feels like everything is just crumbling around you while everyone seems to just have it together except you. I promise you, this is probably most likely not the case. Some people actually have their lives together and everything just seems to be going well for them, but they're comfortable with their lifestyle even if they're not 100% happy with it. A lot of us, we tend to just get into the rhythm of things even if we aren't happy with our job, our partner, our friends, our family, like our routine. We just tend to stick with it even if we don't like it because it's comfortable. We don't like to be in a space where we're uncomfortable, have to adapt to new things because it's not going to be predictable anymore. We know what's going to happen. We have the same thoughts every day, so then we tend to feel the same way every single day, and nothing ever changes for us. And then all of a sudden, when things get taken away from us, when we have this like traumatic event happen to us, a bunch of people start leaving our lives. We tend to always blame God, if you believe in God, the universe, whatever you believe in. Why is this happening? Everything was going so well, and now look again, you're failing me again. Why is it going bad all of a sudden? Everything was just going so well, and this is what I want in life. No, 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 no. Mm-mm-mm. Now, you see, we commonly ask God or the universe, or like I said, whatever you believe in, hey, you see, I'm not really happy with my life. I really want some clarity on what I want. I'm not 100% happy with my career. Could you suggest another career change for me, another pathway? I'm not really happy with my friends at the moment. A lot of them drag me back and not up to my level. I would like some new friends. I'm not really happy with my schedule that I have currently. Could you give me some more ideas on like what I can start taking action on and actually start pursuing my goals? And then, when suddenly things just start crumbling right after this happens, you're like, okay, this just doesn't make sense because I asked you for this good thing and now you're doing all these bad things to me. But you guys aren't looking at it deeper, on a deeper level. Things happen for a reason. Life is so much more meaningful and it's so much more spiritual. A lot of us see it on like a very surface level, but it's a lot more deeper, and things are constantly changing around us, but we don't take notice on what's even going around us and the signs that are constantly being shown us by from God or the high power, whatever you believe in, because we're too distracted on our thoughts that are busying us constantly. Like, I really don't like my boss, I really don't like this, blah 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 blah, blah. All these negative thoughts constantly that we never think of anything good. And then when we ask God for signs, or when we are taking a walk and going outside, we don't take notice of the signs that are blatantly obvious right in front of us because we are so distracted constantly. I have been so confused so recently. I have realized that God has put me by myself time and time again. I struggled with friends for quite a bit in my life, and my friend groups just always changing because I didn't connect with these people or they were mean to me. And then finally, moving from that stage in my life, I thought that everything was just gonna somehow fall in place. I was gonna make friends again. That just didn't happen. And I would be like, God, why am I the odd one out yet again? Why am I like fifth wheeling? Why do I feel like I'm not fitting in? And it was only when I was by myself thinking and like sulking about my life, couldn't understand why it was being like this, like being this way, that I was like, oh, now that I'm by myself so much, I have been taking action on all the things I've enjoyed. I've started getting into routine I really like. I'm raising my standards for how I want to be treated. But the reason why I've been losing all my friends, understand why I was being like isolated for so long and being alone, it was because that these people were purposely being removed from my life because they weren't serving me anymore. And I heard this funny story. It resonates with like what I'm talking about now, where I don't think it's true. There are three people on top of a house because there's a flood going on, and they're like, God, can you please just give me a sign? Like, save us from this flood. We trust you. We have faith that you're gonna guide us to safety. And then there are people on a boat, like, circling around the house, and they're like, hey, just jump in the boat. Like, we can save you. And they're like, no, we're fine. We're waiting for God to save us. And then that boat goes away. And they're still praying, having faith. And then someone comes over with a helicopter to save them. And they're like, oh, we'll come and save you, just climb up this ladder and we'll fly you away from the flood. And like, no, it's okay, like, God is coming to save us. And then they're praying, and then the water's rising, and then eventually they have nowhere to stand on, they can't swim anymore, and then they drown. They're going to heaven before the eyes of God, and they're like, God, we asked you for help, we asked you to save us, and you didn't even do that. You didn't even save us from this flood. And he's like, I have sent you people on a boat to save you. I have sent helicopters to save you, and you didn't want to jump in and save yourselves when I gave you all these opportunities. I was giving you these signs and you just did not take them. And that is so true. To this day, so many people, we are given signs constantly, every single day. We just don't take notice of this. Now that I've become so aware and so in tune with what's going on around me, and like so much more like self-aware and present in the moment, I realize signs almost every day now. I don't like leaving my house, but when I have to leave my house, I take notice of these signs left, right, and center. A lot of us struggle and we think it's so hard to connect to this energy. And I don't think it's as hard as we make it out to be, because we are all guided every single day, regardless if you're religious or not religious. You will get signs no matter what you believe in. If you don't even believe that there's a high power, I can guarantee you that there are like signs around you literally everywhere. You are guided every day. Whether this comes in dreams, whether this comes in people that come into your life, whether you just take notice of angel numbers, whether this is a word that you see constantly, or whether this is a symbolic meaning that you see that comes up into your life. Maybe this is a reoccurring pattern you see within people, that you're constantly being taught a lesson so you can actually become a stronger person out of it. Until you realize what needs changing and you fix that, or you take notice of it and actually realize that there's a message behind this, then it just all flows. It all flows. For example, in my life, how am I going to make this very vague? When I meet people that are very significant in my life and they become very close to me, I tend to get a lot of signs about them, whether this comes in dreams or whether it's their name that I see constantly. I never thought that I would get to this stage where I see this, but I see this almost every single day now. That you cannot ignore it. It's blatantly obvious. It is right in front of me. I promise you, if you want to ask for signs and seeing like what you want out of life, or if someone's meant to be there in your life, or what's your main purpose, ask, and you will get some sort of answer. Whether that's tomorrow, whether that's in a week, whether that's in a month, whether that's in a year, you will get an answer. You just need to be patient and trust. Because recently I've asked God, I really want this to happen, and if it is in your will, please let it happen. And I just let go. I let everything else flow, because you cannot hold onto connections that just do not want to be there around you anymore. It will just naturally drift off away if it's not meant to be there anymore. If you suddenly get fired from your job and you're taking this like, oh, great, that just shows how like terrible I am at my job and I'm not going to get anything better. Of course you're not going to get anything better, because that's your mindset. But then you don't actually think about like, oh, this is actually a sign that something better is coming for me. Or I can actually start working on this business that I wanted to start years ago, but I never took action on. Or wow, I suddenly just got this opportunity for this other job that is paying almost double, and I get even like a higher position, and I'm more respected at this next company. It's a lot larger company. Or for me, for example, when I let go of so many friends, or when I start to focus on myself, or like they naturally just drifted away from me and I couldn't understand why, I suddenly started focusing on myself, and I grew so much, and I only had this many people in my life now, super close to me. And then only when I thought about it after a while, and I like let go the resentment towards God of like not having that many friends and that many connections in my life, I was like, wow, this was meant to happen. So now I can actually focus on things that really matter to me and actually work on things that actually make me happy. If you have a partner, let's say your partner breaks up with you tomorrow. Some would see this as a terrible situation. However, a lot of people realize, wow, now I actually have this much, like I have so much spare time to myself. Now because I let go of these hobbies and passions of mine, I can jump back into them and start going to the gym and working out a lot more. I can see that I gained weight. Now I can change my diet a little bit more. For example, I know someone close in my life that when they broke up with their partner, they were significantly way more happier. Now they're focusing on like things they really enjoy, they're reconnecting with friends, and they're really happy now. Sometimes things are just meant to let go in your life so you will become a lot more happier. But when you're just like staying upset, moping around, life sucks, everything just doesn't go well for me. Of course, nothing will go well for you because you're not looking on the brighter side, what you can turn this bad experience into, or why this is happening, or what's the lesson out of this whole situation. Use pain to your advantage. All these challenges will be thrown at you every day, maybe every month, maybe once a year. Challenges will be thrown at you like they do to everyone. And it's what you do out of the experience to make you into a better person, or you become a worse person out of it. I know people that have gone through terrible circumstances and have become even worse people and continued spiraling down and not becoming a better person out of it, even when I've tried to help them. And I also know people that have had a terrible life from when they've grown up, from like life circumstances and how they were raised, but they've turned that into a better situation because they started working on themselves, working on like hard things so they can earn a lot of money. And now they're super intelligent and focusing things on what they really enjoy and are becoming a better person out of it. I've seen these two opposite sides of the spectrums. I really believe that I was purposely shown these two opposite ends of the spectrum of how even if you were raised terribly, regardless of what the circumstances are, you can become a better person out of the situation. I guarantee you that much because I've seen both opposite ends of the spectrum, and they're like both human beings. Not one is more special than the other. Yes, sure, maybe one person is more genetically gifted in certain areas. Yes, maybe they were given more opportunities. Regardless of their natural gifts, put that aside, one clearly worked harder than the other. One clearly worked on things that they knew would make them happy. And then the other person saw their life and was like, wow, I cannot make this into a better person. Even when I tried to help them, they would not take any of my advice. And that's why I really believe you cannot help other people. If they are purposely spiraling down and you're trying to help them, they're asking for help and then they're not taking your advice, let them go. They're clearly not listening to you. What's going to be the point of you telling them everything? You're wasting your energy and time trying to help them, and they're clearly not taking it. Because it's each man for themselves. Put yourself first. Why are you putting this other person first when they're not even putting themselves first? Stop dwelling in the past. When you're thinking of all these thoughts of like, oh, but it was just so good like a year ago. Like it was just so good this time. It was so good this time, and now my life is bad. My life is like this. I just don't want to change. Life should just fall into place for me and I should just sit on my ass. Yes, because that's how life works. You lying on your bed, lying on your bum, scrolling on your phone, life is just gonna fall in place for you. You're just gonna be given all these opportunities while you sit on the couch. Someone's gonna knock on your door and be like, hey, I've got a really good life opportunity for you. And I can see you rotting in your house, but please come work with me. Please, I can lead you to a better life. No! No, 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 no. Because you can ask God for signs left, right, and center, and He can give you all the signs. But if you're not acting on the signs, what else is He supposed to do? He's trying His best, showing you, being so obvious, and then you're clearly disregarding everything because you think you know better. Everything's just gonna fall in place for you because you're just perfect. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And when you have negative thought patterns constantly, thinking about your boss that makes you upset, thinking about your family that makes you upset constantly, thinking about your friends that make you upset constantly, thinking about all these illnesses that you have, this could go on. The list can continue, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You're thinking about all these negative thought patterns like, I hate how I look, I hate how my nose is too big, whatever, right? My job is so stressful, like I have all these pressures on me, like I can't do this well, I have such a huge workload. You're focusing on all the bad, you're gonna have lots of stress. Cortisol is really good in a very short period of time. That is why a lot of people excel during tests. For example, if you're gonna go on a sprint and you're having a bunch of adrenaline, you're gonna be a little bit stressed. But in that sense, it's good. You have heightened stress, so you can probably do better because your body wants you to do really well. And like when you're writing an exam or a test, if you have stress, you are probably gonna more likely do well because you have stress, you have a little bit of pressure on you, you're gonna try a lot more. However, when you have prolonged stress for such a long time, this is not good on your body. Your body is going to deteriorate, and this is going to show physically outside. And when it shows physically outside, your inside, your personality is going to be rotten. You are not going to feel good. You're going to be sick. You're going to struggle to do day-to-day functionings. And a lot of you just think like, oh, like this doesn't actually happen. I know people that have been stressed from their jobs since day one, stressed every day, constantly like putting everyone else above them and doing their jobs for them, struggling every single day. And then they're upset day to day life in their day to day life, and then they suddenly just get very, very sick for a very, very long period of time. This is because you have cortisol within you. Cortisol is not good in your body for a very, very, very long time. Not good. No, 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 no. To get into the habit of trying to be in a better thought pattern, looking on the brighter side, being more optimistic than pessimistic. Being pessimistic isn't attractive. No one wants to be around someone that thinks that life sucks and everything's terrible, yada, 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 yada. But once you get clear on what you actually want out of life, this will show up in signs. And once you actually ask for signs, and these will be delivered eventually, like for example, for myself, I like to see a certain number, an angel number, or if I want to get clear on like if a person's meant to be in my life, I like to ask if this person's meant to be in my life, and I either see the number 222 or I see their name or like a nickname of theirs constantly, or I see like things that we spoke about a lot constantly. If you do not see these signs, that is a sign. Don't be like, okay, I asked for this angel number, and if I plus these two numbers that I constantly see, then I get that number, the angel number that I actually asked for. No, that's not how it works. Ask for a specific sign. If you want to see a lion and you see like toy lions, you see statues of lions, that can be your sign. If you also see butterflies and you see pictures of butterflies, you see stickers of butterflies a lot, that is your sign. If you see things that you've spoken about with a person and you want that to be your sign and you see that a lot, that is your sign. These will be very clear, and I can speak from personal experiences. Once you ask, it will be delivered. I can guarantee you. Get clear on what you want in life. Get clear, write a list. I do not care what it is. Write a list of what you want. Take action on that. Don't ask for God to make this happen. And then when stuff suddenly starts changing or you don't take action on anything, you get upset with whatever you believe in because you're not taking action. You just want to blame someone else because it's so much easier to blame someone else when you're not blaming yourself. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations on how I can better improve my content to better suit your needs, or if you have any recommendations on what you would like to see in the future, like other content ideas, that would be greatly appreciated if you can let me know. And I get into my hair. I love you all so much. I hope you have a lovely day or a lovely night. If it's 12 a.m., please go to bed. I will see you in the next one. Bye!